How's it going, everybody? I am Louis, the Average Guy 1983. Thank you very much for joining me on this quick video. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be showing you guys how I modified this scooter to have a secondary battery for extended range. So you guys can see that I have a big battery up in the top with some U-bolts. So I'm going to show you guys the inside of the deck, how I wired everything up, how I passed the wire, and also how I did the soldering work for the Y splitter cable. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. I can't take too long with this because my friend is actually on his way to come pick up his baby, and I gotta make sure that I have it ready for him. So let's go. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so this is the back side here, or the underside of the Inmotion Climber. As you guys can see, there's a lot of screws you're gonna have to take off here. The cool part about this is that none of these screws are security Torx heads. So you can use a standard Allen key to open it up and be able to modify your scooter to get extended range. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off this panel and show you guys the wiring that I put over here on this side. Alright, and my friends, to get these screws off, all you need is a 2.5 millimeter hex key to get these off. Just be real careful when you put them back on so you don't strip them, but you can definitely remove them with a power drill under low torque. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, so here we go. Here's the information on the battery. It's 36.3 volts. You got your maximum input of 42 volts for a charger, up to 5 amps, and a rated capacity of 14.7 amp hours for this Inmotion Climber. So here's the wire that I did. It's a Y splitter, so you can see 1 and 2. Okay, one of these wires goes into the actual sine wave controller, and then the other one goes to the battery. The last wire goes out to the front here to the external battery, and I'm going to show you guys how I did that in a bit. But this is how I just wanted to show you how I did it. There is like a foam thing that goes here. You're going to have to remove that so you can be able to use this wire here and be able to run it through the neck of the scooter. But this is what it looks like. Nothing fancy, nothing special, and literally no space for a larger battery to be put into the deck. This is what you get. So the best option is to do this kind of an upgrade so you can get more range out of this Inmotion Climber. So with that said, I did zip tie everything here, and on this one here too, you can kind of see it there. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys here. I use 14 gauge wire, OFC for everything. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and seal this back up, show you guys the neck area, and then I'm going to show you guys how I did the Y splitter cable and how I ran it through. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting this back. Also, don't forget to get like a catch can like this so you don't lose any of the screws. Alrighty, so I hope you guys can see everything clear. I do apologize that I'm using my smartphone instead of a fancy camera, but wanted to show you guys how I did the Y splitter. So basically all I did was I grabbed some wiring, right? In this gauge it was 24 gauge, but I'm using 18 gauge here just as an example. I went ahead and I ran the solder to the soldering leads for each designated spot. Basically this part right here is supposed to be going to the external battery, and these two ends that you see here, I have a solder point, was supposed to be like this, soldered together just like that, and one goes to your stock battery and the other one goes to your sine wave controller or master controller, whichever you like to call it. So once it's there and everything is soldered, everything has the heat shrink put on, you're pretty much good to go. What you do not want to do is you do not want to solder this end that goes to the external battery quite yet, because you need to run this wire in through the neck and out through the little cover that goes for the wiring. So I'm going to show you guys that real quick. Alrighty guys, so here we're almost at the end of the video here, so I just want to show you guys how I did this. So once I got the wire put on, I basically ran it through the neck all the way to the top. I did remove this cover and I put a slit through the back so I can fit this wire through. Once I got this wire in here, I traveled it enough out like this so that this way when I have this cable here from this external battery and I move the handlebar to the left or the right just like this, there is no issues with it like not allowing you to make its full range of turning. See that? Now the other thing that I did here was I added some heat shrink to the battery pack because it was exposed, and I added 4 U-bolt locks, and I added heat shrink to the U-bolts at 1/2 inch so that this way it does not scratch the frame of the scooter. Now, you have two options when you do something like this. You can use a single 5 amp charger to connect down here, right there in that spot, and you can charge both at the same time. Or you can make it a little bit faster and charge with one 5 amp charger here and one 5 amp charger here, but making sure that you disconnect this battery. So all you got to do is unplug it just like this, and you can now start charging this battery and the internal battery separately, and have your battery charge way quicker than using one standard 5 amp fast charger. So I'm gonna plug this back in. Once it's plugged in, the last thing to do is just to verify that the scooter turns on. And there you go. It's on and it's ready to use. Alrighty, my friends, so I hope you guys find this video useful. So this here is my quick look at the Inmotion Climber with the modification that I did for it. I can't give you a range test on this, but you gotta believe me, I was able to get 25 miles of range on this modification that I did on his scooter, going in sport mode. Now, keep in mind that once I went down to about 20% battery life, the scooter did start to slow down from acceleration, and once I went down really close to 10%, about 12% battery life, the scooter started riding a lot slower, like under 10 miles an hour. So it does have some voltage sag towards the end, but the fact that I was able to get 25 miles of range with dual motors was amazing. The only thing I would do on this scooter, personally speaking, would be adding a motorcycle grade battery horn, because I had many close calls during my off-camera range test, and it was scary as hell. Even though this scooter does do about 22 to 23 miles consistently, I was still basically put in danger riding it in the bike lane at that slow of a speed. But it's a wonderful scooter. I would definitely buy it. You can actually pick one up at Voro Motors as well, but I don't have a discount code for this scooter because unfortunately this is not one of the scooters that are on my fleet. So yeah, any questions, guys, please let me know. And to the people who had asked me for this quick video of the rundown of it, I hope you guys were able to enjoy it. Now, I could only share links of the wiring kit that I got for the XT60s and XT90 plugs, but I can't share anything regarding the battery because this is a standard battery, like universal one, that my friend got, and I don't know when he got it or how long he's had it for. All I know is that the scooter now has 36 volts 27 amps versus 36 volts 14.7 amps. So that's a huge, and I mean a really huge advantage. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Laters.